Winter by Anne Hunter, 1742 to 1821. Behold the gloomy tyrant's awful form, binding the captive earth in icy chains. His chilling breath sweeps o'er the watery plains, howls in the blast and swells the rising storm. See, from its centre bends the rifted tower, threatening the lowly vale with frowning pride. O'er the scared flocks that seek its sheltering side, a fearful ruin o'er their heads to pour. While to the cheerful hearth and social board content and ease repair, the sons of want receive from niggard fate their pittance scant, and where some shed bleak covert may afford wan poverty, amidst her meagre host casts round her haggard eyes and shivers at the frost. Okay, Anne Hunter was a British poet. She was actually born in Ireland, but she lived in London, and she was famous as a poetess, and she wrote songs that were put to music by Haydn. She was also very famous for her salons, her entertainment, her gatherings of intellectual blue-stocking ladies and intellectual gatherings. So she was also an intellectual of the age, which for a woman in those times is very unusual. Also notice she lived to the age of 79. In those days, that's a real ripe old age. Okay, so winter. Well, this poem is about winter. It's about how cruel and how tyrannical and ruthless winter is, and how awful it is. And it personifies winter. And then it goes on to talk about how winter treats the poor, and how the rich, winter doesn't affect them very badly. They're quite comfortable in winter. But the poor, winter kills the poor. It makes their lives a misery, and there is very little that the poor can do about this. So, behold the gloomy tyrant's awful form, binding the captive earth in icy chains. So behold, look at the depressed tyrant's terrible form. Look at the terror, the tyranny of winter, tying the captive earth in icy chains. So the earth is tied by chains of ice, and winter has chained the earth. This is personifying winter. His chilling breath sweeps o'er the watery plains. So the breath, this is the wind of the winter winds, making everything cold, and it sweeps over the watery plains, over the flat areas. Howls in the blast. So to howl, oh, like an animal. Yeah, and this blast, this explosion, this explosive wind of cold, and swells the rising storm. So the wind makes the storm swell, it makes it bigger, it makes it stronger, it makes it grow. See, from its centre bends the rifted tower. So look, from the centre of this storm there is a tower, and this tower is bent and it's rifted. It's got a rift. It's broken. And I think this rifted tower is talking about the state of humanity. the state of the human race. Yeah, and in the center of this storm, in the center of this winter, is humanity. Yeah, and threatening the lowly vale with frowning pride. So a vale is a valley. Yeah, and the storm is threatening this valley with frowning pride. So to frown is to have an angry look on your face, and pride is because you know you're the best. So this storm, this winter, is threatening the low valley, but I think the lowly vale, these are the people hiding in the valley to get out of the storm, or the scared flocks that seek its sheltering side. So I think this tower comes out of the center of the valley, and the scared flocks, well, these a flock of sheep. Yeah, this flock of sheep are sheltering, are hiding by the side of this bent tower. But here, the flocks is talking about the people. So the scared people, the scared sheep, same thing, that are looking for somewhere to shelter from the winter, anywhere to stay out of the worst of the weather. But they're sheltering with this fearful tower, this fearful ruin over their heads. And maybe the wind will, or the winter will, this tower will collapse on them. So the world around these poor people is dangerous. Everything is trying to kill them, to damage them, to make them suffer. While to the cheerful hearth and social board, content and ease repair. So now she's talking about the rich people, and they've got a cheerful hearth. The hearth is the fireplace, is the heart of the house, is where the fire burns. So they have a nice warm fire. And social board, content and ease. Social board, people are chatting by the fire comfortably, and they're content, they're happy, and they repair, they relax at ease. And then she goes back. The sons of want receive from niggard fate their pittance scant. So the sons of want, the poor, receive from ungenerous fate, from a fate that doesn't want to give them anything. It's stingy, it's sparing, it's miserly. So the poor, from fate which doesn't give them any chance, they receive a scant pittance. So scant is only just enough, and a pittance is a very, very small amount. So mean and stingy fate give these poor people the very, very, very minimum that they might need. Yeah, and fate is never good to them or generous. And where some shed bleak covert may afford, and may in some place where there's a covert, a hiding place. Yeah. So these people are hiding in a bleak, a grey, a sad, a depressed covert. Yeah, where some shed bleak covert may afford. So where they find even the slightest hiding place against winter, that in this place you will find one poverty amid her meagre host. So here we've got a personification of poverty as a person. One is pale poverty, and she is amidst her meagre host. So the host of poverty are the poor people. So in this tiny place of shelter, we will find pale and sick poverty among her people. and she casts around her haggard eyes. So poverty is looking around, and her eyes are ill and tired, and shivers at the frost. So one poverty is looking around with her sick, tired eyes, and she's shivering at the frost, at the cold. So this poem is talking about really how hard and difficult winter is for the poor. Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Winter by Anne Hunter.